Hello my dear students. Today I have brought with you a very important topic, that is Employees Provident Fund. Yes, it is very much important topic, as well as students remain very much confused about each and every facts of the Provident Fund. So now you can see in the picture that it is related to the employee, right? So the benefit of the Provident Fund will be available to the employee. We can conclude from this figure, as well as you can see that it's saving for retirement. That means after retirement you will get the benefit of the Provident Fund. So this much is very much clear to you. Now after that we will see the next details about the Provident Fund. So now if we see about the Provident Fund, I have provided an explanation for the same, and it is a very deep explanation. The concept will be very much clear to you if you can see the whole video, right? So now the Provident Fund scheme is a saving device for salaried class. Yes. So the person who are in the employment, the employee will receive the benefit of the Provident Fund. So it is very much clear from the first statement. Next, as we have already been discussed about the fact that it is a retirement benefit scheme. So a person after the completion of his tenure of service, when he is going to retire, at that time the person will get the benefit of the Provident Fund. Now let's move to the third point. So here just take an example. Why a person do his insurance? What benefit does he get? The compensation for the loss, right? So now I am making the insurance of my life. So when I will be not there, my legal heirs or my family members will receive some benefit that will compensate the loss. Now, at the time of insurance, I have to deposit a certain sum, a certain amount of premium, from which when I will be not there, the insurance company will provide the benefit from that sum only. So here also in Provident Fund, a certain sum is regularly being deducted from the salary of the employee as his contribution towards the fund. So the salary of the employee is being deducted in regular way. As well as the interesting fact is that in case of insurance, the insurer or the insurance company, what you can say, they are not providing you any premium, right? So you are only making the premium, you are only depositing it, and after a certain period of time you are getting back. But here the employee as well as the employer also contributes a similar amount out of his pocket to the fund. So employer is also responsible for the benefit of the employee, as because employee is giving service to the employer. So here the total sum includes the employer's sum as well as the employee's sum, and they are togetherly being invested in such fund. Fine. Now let's take another example, that in a bank, when you are keeping the money in saving bank account, okay, you get a certain sum of interest every year. Now here also you are depositing money in Provident Fund. So from there also the interest will be accrued, the interest will be earned, and it will be credited to the fund of the employee. On termination of the service or retirement, at the time of the retirement, the employee will receive the whole accumulated fund, that is the sum which he and his employer was depositing, as well as the interest also. Now Provident Fund, we can say it has 4 components in total. 4 components, that is employer's contribution, employee's contribution, as well as interest on employer's contribution and interest on employee's contribution. So this total thing will be provided as a means of benefit to the employee. Now, if we just move to the next slide, we will see that what are the types of the different Provident Funds. So there are mainly 4 types till date. That is statutory provident fund, recognized provident fund, which we are commonly called as RPF, unrecognized provident fund, URPF, and public provident fund, PPF. Now about the details. What is SPF? That is statutory provident fund. It has been set up under the provisions of the Provident Funds Act 1925. So my dear students, it is very much important as a MCQ question in case of CMA. So the question can come like this, that under which provision of the Provident Fund the SPF has been set up. So the answer will be Provident Funds Act 1925. Now, who can provide it? Any government and semi-government organizations, local authorities, railways, universities, and recognized educational institutions maintain such Provident Fund. Now about the recognized Provident Fund. Likewise, it has been framed under the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952. So now it is commonly called as the Provident Fund Act. So this PF Act covers any establishment which is going to employ 20 or more persons under employment. But in case where the establishment, if any establishment has less than 20 people, 20 employees, they can also join the scheme. So what is the condition then? If both the employer and employee agrees to do so, then only they can introduce the recognized provident fund. Okay. So it is basically for those establishments who is going to employ 20 or more people. Next is unrecognized provident fund, URPF. If a provident fund scheme is created by an employer which is not recognized by the Commissioner of Income Tax, if the Commissioner of Income Tax is not going to recognize the fund, then that particular fund is known as unrecognized provident fund. Next is about public provident fund. You will be surprised to know that from the very beginning I was telling that it is for the salaried employees. The exceptional is that as the name itself revealing its meaning. What does it say? Public provident fund. So basically this provident fund is for the benefit of the public at large. The central government has established a fund for the benefit of public. Any person, whether salaried or self-employed, it is not necessary that the person should be salaried. In this case, the person can be self-employed. He can contribute to the fund through a nationalized bank. Okay, it may be SBI or its branches, like that. Minimum amount that need to be contributed equals to rupees 500. So minimum amount can be contributed will be 500, not less than that. That is multiple of 5. This question may also come in the MCQ. Interest is credited every year but payable only at the time of maturity. The interest is credited every year. Obviously, it is being accrued every year but payable only at the time of maturity, which is exempt from tax under section 10 subsection 11, that is income not forming part of total income. Right? So these are the 4 types of provident fund. Next we will see about the tax treatment of the provident funds. Like in case of SPF, that is statutory provident fund, the employer's contribution, what the employer is gonna to contribute, that is not taxable. The employee's contribution will be eligible for deduction under section 80C. The interest is not taxable at all, and if the sum is being withdrawn at a lump sum amount, then it will be not taxable. Okay. In case of RPF, it is exempted up to 12% of salary. So in note 1, in the next slide if we go, we will just see that salary means basic plus DA that forming part of retirement benefit, that is only to be considered, plus commission as a fixed percentage of turnover. If this commission is on fixed percentage of turnover, that is only need to be considered. Okay. Next is about employee's contribution, it is eligible for deduction under section 80C. So while computing the total income, we will take it into the consideration, but it is eligible for deduction under section 80C. The interest is being exempted at the rate of 9.5% per annum. Any excess interest will be taxable as salary. And in case of the lump sum withdrawal, amount withdrawal from RPF is not taxable if the following conditions get satisfied. What are that? Employee retires or terminates job after 5 years of continuous service. So at least 5 years he has served the service. Employee has resigned before completion of 5 years and joins another organization which also maintains recognized Provident Fund. So after the termination, he has joined another organization who also maintains the RPF, and his fund balance with current employer is transferred to the new employer. Now, the entire balance standing to the credit of the employee is transferred to his account under new pension scheme as referred under section 80cc. So, go through it once. I will make the video lecture for the same. Employee retires or terminates job before 5 years of continuous service. If the employee terminates job before 5 years, then that should be due to the reason of ill health or by reason of contraction or discontinuance of employer's business or by any other reason beyond the control of the employee. Then that should be considered. Okay. In any other case, amount withdrawn shall be taxable as in the case of URPF. So under URPF we will see about it. In case of URPF, employer's contribution is not taxable. Employee's contribution not eligible for deduction under section 80C. Yes, it is not eligible for deduction, right? Interest is also not taxable, and in case of lump sum withdrawal, the RPF will be like the URPF. So let's see. In case of URPF, accumulated employer's contribution, it is fully taxable under the head salaries. In case you are going to make the lump sum amount withdrawal, okay, then this is applicable. So, accumulated employer's contribution is fully taxable under the head salaries. Accumulated employee's contribution is not at all taxable. Interest on employer's contribution fully taxable under the head salaries. Okay, but point to be noted here, accumulated interest on employees contribution, that is fully taxable, yes, but not in the head, under the head salaries, but it is taxable as income from other sources. So likewise, in case of this also, in case of RPF as well, the calculation will be like this. So I have written here, amount withdrawn shall be taxable as in the case of URPF, like this. So I think the Provident Fund concept is very much clear to you. Very nice day. Okay, thank you so much.